Hi, welcome to Mind Over Matter, looking at big ideas for business. Today we're going to be looking at how to protect your business against unpredictable events. Now, the thing with unpredictable events is they are very, very difficult to spot and they don't occur often. But when they do occur, they actually have a devastating effect for your business. So what we're going to be looking at is not how to identify them, but how to actually spot your vulnerabilities and safeguard yourself and safeguard your business from when these events occur. So unpredictable events, how do you recognize them? Well, there's three things that you actually recognize them by. There's three features that they'll always have. One, they will be something that will actually happen outside of what is normally expected. So it will be outside the norm. Two, it will have an extreme impact. So when it happens, it'll be pretty catastrophic, pretty drastic in the consequence and the impact that it has. And three, what makes them so dangerous is the fact that they are unpredictable. But when the event has occurred, when you actually look back at it, it makes a lot of sense and you can rationalize it. So it looks easy to identify when you're looking back at it, but when you're looking forward, it is very difficult to spot these. So we don't want to be focusing on how to try to spot these and predict the future. What we want to look at is how, if these events were to occur, can you protect yourself from the negative impacts of them? And even better, to actually position yourself to be able to get something positive out of it. Classic example of this would be, let's say, George Soros. A few years back, he positioned himself short. So he went against pound sterling. So he obviously positioned himself against the Bank of England, and he made $10 billion on the day just doing that trade. The problem for normal organizations is they got to have a system, some sort of a system to protect themselves. Now, if you're looking at a business which doesn't have a system, they would be very reactive. So these would be very much where they'd just be crisis managing. So when the event occurs, they will be reacting to it. So it'll be almost like a reactive risk management system. Now, if you look at some of the more bigger organizations like the blue chips, they actually have specialists in each facet of the business covering each function. And normally they will actually have a proactive risk management system because they will have a health and safety manager. They will have certain sort of safeguards in place and policies and procedures in place. But even then, the things that they will be looking at protecting themselves from would be the things which occur often and they want to protect themselves from. And how do they normally do this? To actually make it black and white, they actually normally run this on models. So it'll be model-based systems. And also they'll be using assessment frameworks. Now, unpredictable events, the problem with them is models go right out the window when obviously they do occur. Because of their very nature, they will stress test the robustness of that model. So in order to properly protect yourself and your business from these sort of events, you want to almost take an innovative risk management approach. So what does that mean? It means designing and baking resilience into your business processes and moving your focus away from the risks that often occur for your business to ones that are harder to predict and have not occurred. So how would you do this? Well, firstly, you would map out your business. So this is mapping it out and understanding its geographic location, understanding and mapping out its operations as to how it functions, to also understand where it sits and how it interacts with its supply chain, both forwards and backwards. What that means is by forwards, how it obviously interacts, how many other people are there in that chain between themselves and the end customer, and between themselves, if they look backwards at the suppliers and the supply chain, the people that supply in that chain for the goods to get to you. So you want to understand how the supply chain is made up. You want to understand your customers, and you want to understand the partners and partnerships that you have. You want to be able to look at if, for example, one of your customers went down, one of your suppliers went down, how do you actually continue without it actually disrupting your business with a huge negative impact? Now, what you would do here is you would actually say, okay, we understand the first sphere of relationships. So in the first sphere, it would be your direct customer and your direct supplier. Now, what we're saying is you want to delve deeper and you want to mine deeper. So you want to have a better understanding of who is your customer's customer and who is your supplier's supplier. So that if you need to, you can actually bypass them to actually still be able to bring supply in and get the supply out. So your business does not get bottlenecked with an event. You also want to map out your business's industry. So the industry that it's in, how is it structured? And then what is the competition dynamics in that industry? And where does your business sit within those dynamics? This allows you to understand the foundations your business stands on. 2, create a disruptors list. So what we're looking at here is you want to be looking broad enough across the spectrum. So you're not focused on one area, but it's broad in terms of the issues that your business could face. So what I mean by that is you want to be looking broadly at things in various different fields. So this could be technological, political, societal, economic, or even geographical, like tsunamis, natural disasters, that kind of thing. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to actually put together a list of all the things that you think could happen outside of the box to your business. And to be able to make sure you touch as many of these different parts of the spectrum so that your list is broad enough and is comprehensive enough for you to be able to consider the issues that you haven't considered in the normal course of business. Then what you want to do is you want to take these disruptors list and you want to actually categorize them by the impact that they will have on your business. So group all of these from all these various areas and say, what is the impact and consequence of this happening to your business, and group them by impact and consequence. This will help you get a clean, clear definition of issues that could be unpredictable events and which your business has not considered. 3, ask what if questions. So you want to create what if scenarios based on this disruptors list and understanding your business. So by understanding where your business is and the foundation that it stands on, and then you're going to stress test that foundation with this disruptors list, you're going to be putting what if scenarios to be able to then ask the question, what is the impact that it's going to have? And how will it affect me? So you're looking at impact and consequence. Now this will bring out interesting outcomes if done right. So normally this could mean, a couple of different things. One, you could say, we've actually considered this area. We knew it was risky, but what we didn't realize was that the risk that we quantified, we haven't covered sufficiently enough risk. So we're actually more exposed than we think we are. This could mean more severe and unexpected consequences for your business, which could even go as far as where you're asking yourself the question, on the back of actually stress testing this, are the fundamentals, and this could even go as far as you actually then asking yourself the question, is my business fundamentally flawed? In which case, there may have to be possible restructuring. And finally, 4, you're going to be then putting together a contingency plan. Now, in the contingency plan, you're going to be looking at and basing your recommendations on the size of the risk, the costs involved, and how easy is it to actually implement, to actually mitigate and reduce these risks and exposures. Now, at this juncture, it might even be worth actually considering bringing in a third party to actually be able to provide a separate set of eyes. So obviously they'll be critical and detached and objective. And that objectivity will mean they will actually cut through. Let's say if there's an organization and let's say there's an example, a pet project of a CEO's, And that might have huge disastrous effects. By someone underneath the CEO putting together a recommendation which goes against the CEO's project might not actually be implemented. It might not be recognized, and there'll be a conflict of interest by whoever's actually making the recommendation following it through. By having a third party looking at it objectively and critically, they will be able to make tough recommendations, which may mean you might have to actually shake your operations, and might even mean how you actually shake up your strategy, how you actually do things going forward. I hope you enjoyed this clip, and if so, please subscribe to my channel. Look forward to seeing you in one of our other clips. See you soon.